right. We're recording.
Okay.
Bronwyn Ridgway,
Yeah,
ex-world champions. Or I should say world champion. Once you're a world champion, you're always a world champion.
Like president, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah, yeah. So you won the second race today.
We did.
Well done. Well done. Okay. So all the rest of us would like to know, what does it take to win a race out here?
It takes a good dose of getting off on the right-hand side of the course. And I'd have to say I'm not sure which the right-hand side of the course is, but in that particular race it was the right-hand side.
We call it Washington.
Yeah, right. It was the Washington side, and we played out on that side, basically moving through a few shifts, but staying on that side, and then cutting across right at the very end. And that brought us in maybe with 50 to 100 metres over the guys that had gone on the left.
Yeah.
So that set us up for the rest of the race.
So it looked like a few, the top boats all came in from the right, top group.
Yeah.
Okay, so the right worked, but you said you played some shifts coming up.
We did. There were a few little opportunities. We weren't actually in the lead going up the right-hand side. We were probably maybe going fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
But there were a few little opportunities just to come back and take a 50-metre starboard tack on a lift and then get back, and we just wiggled our way up a little bit, and by the time we got to the top mark we were in the lead, which was nice.
Okay, so you couldn't just punch the corner and make out. You had to be smart.
Yeah, that's right. You didn't want to sail through the really heavy knocks that inevitably come when you're doing a long tack on the...
Okay, and are you using a compass to find those knocks, or are you just intuitive?
I tend to go by relativities, so I'm watching the boats below me, and as the boats knock, you can see yourself coming down a little, or if you lift, you go the other way.
Right.
And then I use the compass to verify what I'm thinking is happening.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you are using a compass.
I am using a compass, and I find that invaluable, really, because your intuition can sometimes play tricks with you.
All right, let's talk about downwind. How do you stay ahead going downwind?
By basically placing yourself between the boat behind you and the mark that you're heading towards.
Which is hard when they go one side and the other.
But also, you know, here, you've got to watch which way the shifts behind you are moving. And if they get in a pressure stream and it's not directly in your line to the mark, then we did this a couple of times. We've got to jibe across and get into it in order to stay in the pressure.
Right, right. You had a couple of very fast boats right behind you.
We did, yeah.
But you were able to stay ahead. How were you able to do that?
Well, like I say, basically by making sure that you've got at least the pressure they've got, and every now and again, if you think you can guess better than they can, and that's not very often, you might just edge out to the side that you think is got a bit more pressure on it. Okay. And I think that kept us ahead. All right.
So, Bronwyn, what really happened out there?
I just swing hard.
Can I go get a beer now?
Well, speaking of beer, I've got a...
Oh, there we go. Yeah, go for it, Phil.
No, I mean, what from a cruise perspective, what's important?
I feed Paul information about what's going on, particularly...
Like, for instance, going upwind, what would you tell him?
What the boats around us are doing in particular.
Right.
Whether we're starting to be the outermost boat, so we don't really want to be out furthest on one side.
Right.
We want to be covering the boats behind. I'm telling you when boats behind are tacking, so that we're covering them. And downwind is very similar, just sort of saying who's jibing and which jibe they're heading. Trying to keep all the bits and pieces in order up the front, which is quite hard.
Ron's invaluable in watching behind when we're going on the run, because my focus is always forward, and I'm only thinking about the next 3 metres ahead of the boat. But her eyes are critical to looking at what's happening behind, picking up those shifts.
Now, are you able to see the pumps coming down?
Sometimes.
I mean, probably because it's windy as it is now, it's easier to see. We've been having difficulty, like yesterday, it was almost too windy.
Yeah.
There's just so much wave. Today it was very light. The puffs were quite hard to see, and when the breeze got up a little bit, you could start to see them. So it's not easy, and I think the locals are clearly doing it better than we are. But we're starting to get the hang of it.
Yeah, it's very important though, going down one. You've got to find the streaks and get into them.
You just got to go to that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. How do you like sailing in the gorge?
Oh, it's fantastic. We came over last year, as you know, and we sailed in the One Design Regatta, and we decided there and then that we would do the Worlds here because it was just such great sailing and good strong pressure, but such a picturesque area too. So we've got over here early, and we've done a few of the Worlds been here, but sailing on the water here is just, it's flat, and when it blows it's still flat. and that's superb because you don't have the same issues that we're talking in 24 months to deal with, and it makes it a lot harder to handle. Out here it's still like a billiard table at 25 knots, but it's just very fast, so it's a lot of fun.
So fun sailing.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, fun sailing. Great. So you're happy to be sailing in Oregon?
Absolutely.
All right.
And Washington.
Well, that's only when you're playing the right here in
That's
Washington.
right, yeah.
The rest of the time you're...
That's true.
Visiting Washington helped today.
Yeah, Oregon hasn't been very kind to us of late.
Well, thank you very much for those insights. I'm going to try and take those home and study. So, if there's anything you could change about your experience in Cascade Locks, what would it be?
Well, the only thing we've noticed just in the last couple of days, because we've been here since the 3rd of July, which has been terrific. We've loved the peace and everything. And about 3 days ago, this very noisy machine, hydrofoily type machine, started operating, and it thunders up the river. And
much noisier than the trains.
Much noisier. So I don't know if that's here to stay or not, but it's an interesting addition.
Okay. Other than that,
but apart from that,
what do you think about the gorge as a place to vacation?
We just love it. It offers so much in terms of outdoor activities, and our kids all love being outdoors and doing kiteboarding and windsurfing and sailing and walking.
We have 4 children.
We have 4 children. We're going to bring them back. We're going to bring them back next year.
So within sort of 12 to 18 months, we're going to bring the whole family back because we've had such a lovely time here. Such a nice place.
Oh, fantastic.
The people.